Boo! Scared ya? Horror is an important component when it comes to some video games, in order to ensure their atmosphere stays somber and dark to match the plot and the characters. Of course you wouldn't find anything horror-related in a kiddies game, right? That's why the horror genre has its own dedicated fans who push the developers to excel in making games that can only be described as masterpieces. So today, we will be showing you top 11 horror games that should be on your bucket list. Number 11. Unholy. This scary new game is said to be a mix of horror and stealth, which should be a nice change from the usual first-person shooter horror games. In Unholy, players take on the role of Saida, who is looking for her kidnapped child in a place called the Last City. Obviously, it's a scary place to go, and Saida will have to do everything she can to get her child back and get out of the city alive. The trailer for Unholy starts in a nursery that looks creepy and has a dark lullaby playing in the background. Quickly, the story switches to the main character's point of view as she tries to make her way through a strange, Lovecraftian-style world, even though it doesn't seem to focus on psychological aspects like Call of Cthulhu does. Number 10. Routine. Over a decade after it was first announced, the sci-fi horror game Routine now has a new trailer. Thursday, the game showed up again at Summer Game Fest. Routine is a first-person game that takes place in an abandoned lunar base, and is based on an idea of the future from the 1980s. Players will use their Cosmonaut Assistance tool to hack into different computer systems around the old station while trying to stay out of the way of their enemies. The re-reveal trailer for Routine takes players back to the game's dark and creepy future setting, and only shows footage from the game itself. A press release from the company that made the game, Lunar Software, says that the team brought the game back to life by rebuilding it from the ground up so that it fits the original idea better. Routine will be available on PC, Xbox One, Xbox Series X, and Game Pass, but it doesn't have a release date yet. Number 9. Slitterhead. Keiichi Toyama, who made Silent Hill and Siren, talked about Slitterhead at the Game Awards 2021. It is the first project from his new company, Bokeh Game Studios. The gruesome and unsettling trailer showed that Toyama is going back to the horror game genre that he helped create, but it didn't answer many questions. Toyama doesn't want to give away too much at this early stage of development, but in a new interview with IGN Japan, he did say a few new things. Toyama said, "I can't give you a lot of details yet, but I can tell you that this will be an action-packed adventure game played from a third-person point of view, but the game will have a lot of new features that I haven't seen in other games, so I think it will be a unique experience." Toyama also said some new things about where the game takes place. The trailer shows that the game takes place in an unnamed Asian city with run-down high-rises and storefronts with Chinese language signs. Toyama told us that this city is made up. People who know Hong Kong probably guessed from the trailer that the city is based on Hong Kong in the 1980s and 1990s, said Toyama. But that's not really Hong Kong. The game will take place in a unique setting that mixes the familiar sights of that city with completely made-up stuff. Number 8. The Last of Us 1 Remake. Naughty Dog has shown off an amazing new model of Tess, a key character in The Last of Us Part 1, from the game. In a tweet, the game's creator put the original character from PlayStation 3, played by Annie Wershing, next to the version that will be in the upcoming PlayStation 5 remake. The difference is pretty amazing. Even though the clip is only a few seconds long, you may need to watch it more than once to notice all of the differences between the two versions, from Tess's intense facial animations to the details on her shirt and backpack to her height. Neil Druckmann, co-president of Naughty Dog and creative director of The Last of Us, added his own thoughts to the clip. "Annie Wershing's performance as Tess killed us," he said in a tweet. "I love that Part 1 gives us a better chance to see how good she is at acting." There have been rumors about a remake of The Last of Us for a while, but Naughty Dog finally confirmed the PS5 version at Summer Game Fest last week, along with its new name as Part 1. Before it comes out on September 2nd, the developer also put out a short trailer for the remake, which was rebuilt from the ground up. There will also be a PC version, which is a sure thing.
Hope you know how to use that thing.
I've had some practice.
Number 7. Dead Space. The long-awaited remake of the popular series Dead Space finally has a set date for when it will come out. Fans will be able to walk through the broken-down spaceship again and kill the scary necromorphs that hide in the shadows. We haven't seen anyone like Isaac Clarke in a long time. The last time was in Dead Space 3, which came out in 2013. Along with announcing the Dead Space remake's release date, EA has held a number of live streams over the past few months to get fans excited about the game's return. In these streams, we learned a lot about the Dead Space remake's sound, art, and general state. We also got a few sneak peeks of gameplay to sink our teeth into. EA Motive is working on the Dead Space remake. They have said they want to keep the look and feel of the original game, and the concept art shows that they are doing a good job of that. Number 6. S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2, Heart of Chernobyl. The first S.T.A.L.K.E.R game was a cult hit. It was a strange and often irritating shooter that put players in the middle of Chernobyl radiation zone to find horrible secrets and strange things. Call of Pripyat and Clear Sky were kind of like sequels, but true fans have had to wait well over a decade for a full-fledged second game. Now that it's on its way, here are all the important details. S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2 was supposed to come out in August 2022, but Russia's invasion of Ukraine forced the Ukrainian developer GSC Game World to delay the game.
Да пошел ты.
Зря ты так с друзьями. Ты же его на вылазки таскаешь.
Number 5. Scorn. When a game is in development for a long time, it can be hard to keep your patience. This can be especially true for games like Scorn, which was funded by the public and has been in development since 2014. Now, about a year later, it's almost ready for prime time. At the Xbox Bethesda Game Showcase 2022, a new gameplay trailer for Scorn was shown. The final release date was given as October 21st, 2022. Those who have been waiting a long time will be very happy about this, given that the game is about death, and that there was a big fuss about it last year, and that the developers got a little angry with angry fans. The situation is kind of ironic. The original release date was September 2021, but to finish the project, the developers had to push it back another year. This, as you might expect, led to some backlash, which made one of the developers respond and say some things that were later taken back. But maybe we can get past that rough patch now and enjoy the idea behind this game again.
Discovering the ever-present symbiotic relationships and how things are connected equips you with the tools to progress. While there is shooting within the game, Scorn is not a shooter. Every encounter must be carefully considered. A wrong choice could be deadly. I hope you've enjoyed this glimpse into the twisted world of Scorn. The team at EB Software can't wait for you to uncover the secrets of this unique world as you experience Scorn firsthand this October. Are you prepared to unravel your inner self within Scorn's world of horror?
Number 4. Resident Evil 4. When it came out in 2005, Resident Evil 4 was a big deal. Many people still think of it as the best of the series, and it's famous for how it changed both the action and survival horror genres. Resident Evil 4 may have had as much of an impact on the way games are made today as Doom, Grand Theft Auto 3, and Super Mario 64 did before it. Maybe this is why some people on social media are now talking about whether or not the Resident Evil 4 remake is worth it. Here's what I think. Resident Evil 4 is a masterpiece, but it still needs to be remade in a big way for PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X. It's easy to forget how far video games have come in the past 17 years. If you only look at it through the lens of nostalgia, it's even easier to think that action, horror, and shooter games haven't made any major improvements since Resident Evil 4.
I could just forget what happened that night. The pain. Even for a second. This time, it can be different. It has to.
Number 3. Layers of Fear. Anything can make you jump. A loud noise and a sudden movement, that's just scary by force and doesn't take much skill. Easy. Try it with a friend, maybe one you don't like all that much. But to make you question yourself, to be scared because you can no longer trust your own eyes, that's a masterclass in being bad. And that's what Layers of Fear is. Layers of Fear is kind of like a gothic PT, because it takes parts from movies like The Shining and The Woman in Black. It's more disturbing than a monster jumping out from behind a curtain, because it plays with your mind. Although that is an option here. The images are always creepy. There is art with misshapen faces or monster-like shapes, the creepiest dolls, and paints that seem to be taking over parts of a house in big, sloppy blobs. As you explore, whispering voices leak from the controller, and a tense atmosphere threatens to get under your skin.
All this misery, all this suffering, there was no other way.
Shouldn't have. You really shouldn't have!
An empty shell cannot live forever. It cannot live at all.
I was trapped in this house, bound by this body. Now, I break free.
Number 2. S.T.A.L.K.E.R. Two brothers posted a concept trailer for an FPS horror game that didn't exist last year, named Project S.T.A.L.K.E.R. Well, those brothers are now Team Clout, and that game is now out there. Even though it's just called S.T.A.L.K.E.R., there isn't much I can tell you about the game. There isn't a Steam store page, high-resolution press screens, or a release date. Even calling the video from the Future Games Show a gameplay trailer is a stretch, if not the whole factory floor at McVitie's. But, as they say, the vibes are perfect. Bare feet on a dirty floor, shambling monsters with many half-seen limbs, and a gun that is too small to protect you from any of it. Resident Evil, but with your most dangerous 2022 strain injected into it. That's pretty much all you need to know about S.T.A.L.K.E.R. And if we said anything else, it would be a pretty wild guess.
You there, Mike? I made my way in. Found some sort of administrative room. It's a total mess here.
Shit. They were really rushing out of there, weren't they? All right. Head to the dome. It might be your only way down.
Number 1. The Callisto Protocol. The Callisto Protocol is an upcoming survival horror game that is being made at Striking Distance, a studio that was started in 2019 by Glenn Schofield, who led the team that made Dead Space. Because of this link, there's been a lot of talk about the Callisto Protocol. From what we've seen so far, the Callisto Protocol looks a lot like Dead Space, which is definitely a plus. On December 2nd, 2022, the Callisto Protocol will come out. Striking Distance Studios opened up in the middle of 2019. If the December release date is accurate, which it seems to be, that's a quick turnaround for a new studio, even if it has a lot of experience in the genre. In the official gameplay reveal trailer, we learn about the main character, Jacob Lee. It seems that all it takes to get a sentence is to crash land too close to the maximum security prison on the dead moon of Callisto. For Jacob, that sentence seems to mostly involve stomping, hitting, and shooting his way through buckets full of human or alien bodily fluids, or both together.
I just love that last part. Gives me chills every time.
So, which one of these would you like to try first? Let us know in the comments down below, and make sure to leave a like and subscribe to our channel for all of our latest video games lists. Stay tuned, bye!